Ah, the early 2000s. What a wonderful time to be alive. Early pop punk, VHS... Yes. And what made the early 2000s even better was the kids' show. I mean, the kids' shows were amazing. It seemed like the creators wanted to give kids that feeling when you sneak into an R-rated movie, and they pretty much did everything they could to give us that feeling, which was awesome, and gave us so many creative shows. I mean, Ren and Stimpy, Courage the Cowardly Dog, weird, unsettling shows that scared the crap out of us, and we loved it. And one of the shows that never really gets mentioned is KABLAM. KABLAM was a really weird and unsettling show, and I loved every single second of it. And for some reason, nobody talks about it. Which is why I wanted to take it upon myself to review the first episode, to show people exactly why my childhood was riddled with nightmares. So, let's take a look.
Big up the masses.
Assume the crash position. Hold on tight. Take a deep breath for a new kind of cartoon show.
So KABLAM was an interesting show. It was a bunch of different shows actually put together. What held it all together were these two kids narrating through the entire thing.
Here are your hosts, Henry and June.
As you can see here, them... I don't know what they're doing. So the kids actually explain to us what this show is.
It may seem like just another comic book, but there's a crucial KABLAM difference.
You, the viewer, don't have to worry about painful paper cuts or agonizing staple wounds. And best of all, we turn the pages for you.
So you made a cartoon. That's what a cartoon is. Comic book, but you guys flip through the pages and show us pictures. It's a cartoon.
And now, prepare your eyes, your ears.
What the hell is that? We're just gonna gloss over that? Not on my watch. I got my eye on your eye. Alright, so the first show we're introduced to is called Snizz and Fondu. And if I'm being honest, I don't really remember this show too well. From what I can gather, it's about these two dogs, cats, hedgehogs. It's about these two hedgehogs who live together. So the first episode, Fondu comes into his room and sees his brother Snizz jumping on the bed and just being a little shit.
Get out of my room! According to my logbook here, that's exactly 1,000,003 times I've been asked to vacate your domicile.
Fondu is fed up with his brother and decides to go to the pet shop.
I'm looking for an attack dog. One that would have no problem with chewing off the legs of a trespasser.
Which apparently is owned by Binky if he turned to crystal meth.
This is an exotic pet shop. Only rare and illegal animals sold here.
Holy fruits!
It's a Madagascar scorpion, the most lethal arachnid alive. One sting and, oh, baby, will you die.
Okay, so in about the first 30 seconds, we have a kid who's willing to seek revenge on his little brother by buying a guard dog and having him rip off his legs, a pet shop that only sells illegal pets, and a store owner who has no problem selling to a little kid in order for him to kill his brother. You see what I'm saying? The creators pretty much knew they could put anything in these shows as long as they stuck Nickelodeon at the beginning and the parents wouldn't do anything. Hey son, I'm home. Oh my god! Oh Dad, I didn't know you were gonna be home. Are you watching pornography? Oh my god! Oh my god! I can't believe this is Wait, is that Nickelodeon? Yeah? Oh, okay. Be in bed by 8.
Just don't tell anyone where you bought this. Capiche?
Capiche?
Yes, because when I want someone to keep a secret, I usually scream it in the street in public. So anyways, Fondu walks home with the lobster. Wait, hold on a sec. I don't know why I just thought about this. His name is Fondu? Wow, that's a bit of a cheesy name. Please put your hatred comments down below. So Fondu comes home and tells his brother Snizz that if he stops jumping on his bed, he'll give him the lobster. But Snizz is not really interested.
Thick enough to keep you out of my room forever?
Fruits on that. He's in a tank.
Wait, you don't want it? Could it's in a case? Maybe what? You could just take it out of the case. What? And then Fondu accidentally drops the lobster and the whole family freaks out and they decide they have to kill the lobster.
Crush! Hold on, pal. I paid $39.99 for that thing.
You got ripped off.
Wait a second. How does the whole family know that he got ripped off? That means somebody told somebody else about Darwin's Den. What's the #1 rule about Darwin's Den? Don't talk about Darwin's Den. Got it? So the whole family decides to hunt down this lobster, and unfortunately, Fondu is caught in a bit of a pickle.
What are you guys talking about?
Did I mention that I absolutely adore the show?
Hey, one more.
And what's the lesson, kids?
If you can't beat them, charge them.
That's right. Okay, our next show is called Action League. This is where the show really starts to go off the rails. I remember this show, and it was absolutely absurd. It's a stop-motion show with these action figures. I don't know, the best way I can describe it is like Chicken Robot for kids, but not really, because it's still Chicken Robot. And it's a group of action heroes. Wow, I haven't seen this in years. All right, let's get into the action. What are these guys up to?
I don't recall watching the Chief's new car being in the Action League Oath.
Yeah, if I wanted to be a swabby, I would have stayed in the Navy.
Stinky, Thunder Girl, you missed a spot.
Yeah, I must have missed this scene at Avengers.
You resin heads, quit fooling around. I want that car to shine like a tin roof on a tar paper shack.
Oh. Car. Hey, that guy's a litter bug.
Oh yes, because littering was the worst part about that situation. So they actually suits up to go fight the... What? Come on, look at that. They just ran over his leg. What am I watching here? Where murder is totally legal, but if they catch you littering, that's 25 to life. Ah! Ah! Hey! What are you doing there? It's not what it looks like. You're just gonna leave that knife on the ground? Oh, no, sir. I'll make sure to clean it up. Well, you better make sure you don't. Sure thing. Very good. Carry on. Thanks. Okay, try to convince me otherwise that the creators of the show were not completely methed out of their heads when they came up with this idea.
Action League, now starring The Flesh. He's super strong and super naked. Thunder Girl, she flies like thunder. Stinky Diver, a former Navy commando with an attitude as bad as his odor. And Meltman, with the power to melt.
Okay, so our heroes chase down the litterer, but unfortunately they're attacked, and they go off the road.
This is my stop. Thunder Girl, away!
I hate it when she does that.
Man, I hate it when she totally abandons us and leaves us for death. Thunder Girl ends up catching up with our protagonist.
Pull it over, Mayor. Your litterbug days are over.
He's the mayor?
Pull it over, Mayor. Your litterbug days are over.
But Thunder Girl gets derailed, where she, gets run over by a car. What's new? So Action League chases after the mayor who's littering, and they end up catching up to him, where we finally get our ultimate showdown.
Action against evil. Who will blink first in this final death-defying battle of nerves?
Wow, this is gripping. Well, our action heroes finally... Ooh! Ow! But don't worry, because our villain gets what's coming to him.
What sinister thing drives a man to litter?
I don't know, but whatever it is, it's flammable.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
Ha ha ha! We killed the mayor. Okay, so our next show is called Life with Luby, and this, to me, was probably the creepiest and most unsettling show out of the bunch. This show was a weird amalgam made up of cartoon, practical effects, stop motion, rolled into one weird, unsettling ball. So the show's about this girl named Luby and her brother Larry, who constantly get into these weird situations. The show starts off with Larry narrating the events that are about to happen.
Take last week, for example. Hey, Larry! Come and play Cannibal Cheerleaders with me!
I'm sorry, what?
Come and play Cannibal Cheerleaders with me!
Cannibal Cheerleader. What the fuck is Cannibal Cheerleader? Cannibal Cheerleader? What is this? I gotta check this out. You know what? I don't need to know everything. Jesus Christ. So Luby gets annoyed at her brother Larry for calling her a goober.
You're a goober! You're a goober!
So she decides she's gonna take matters into her own hands.
Because when Luby decided to make a new friend,
Hey, everybody. This is Frank.
she really made a new friend. Mostly from pieces of Dad's old stereo system.
It is a great honor for a mere machine such as I to be accepted by clearly superior humanoids.
Of course, the family's totally cool with this.
Any friend of Luby's is a friend of mine. Help yourself to a donut, Frank.
So finally, Luby has a friend to play Cannibal Cheerleaders with. Jesus. But Larry has his suspicions, and he suspects something is afoot.
Nice day, Mr. Larry. Nice day to take over the Earth and enslave all humans. Ha, ha, ha.
Later on, a lot of the kitchen appliances seem to be missing. Larry goes downstairs and is confronted by his sister.
Shh. Listen to me, and listen well. Luby is not my friend. You are, my fellow machines. I have tolerated her ridiculous games, only that I may learn the human ways. Soon I will have enough knowledge to make them our slaves. Ha, ha, ha.
Because at this point, it's about the only logical conclusion. So Larry ends up coming up with an idea to defeat the robot.
Stop! Go back to the kitchen now, or I'll use these 30-day money-back
But
guarantee.
what?
I am not a satisfied customer.
But when that doesn't work, Luby goes absolutely AWOL crazy on the robot. And that's life with Luby. The next show on this list is Prometheus and Bob. And yeah, if I'm being honest, I never particularly liked this show. It's a stop-motion show, and the plot is about this alien who comes to Earth over, I don't know, 2 billion years ago, and meets this caveman. And the whole idea is that the aliens, I guess, trying to, I'm not really sure, get an idea of what Earth's all about, and I guess take it back to his world. They don't really explain too much, and the whole thing is just about the caveman and this alien doing stuff together. It's not particularly interesting or funny. And then it usually ends with something big happening. I'll be honest, I never really got into this show, but I'm not saying you should totally rule it out. This might be your thing, it just wasn't particularly mine. And that's the last show. And that concludes KABLAM. Except, of course, a couple of words from our kid narrators. And again, try to convince me otherwise that the creators were not passed out in a trailer in the desert, still freebasing off the leftovers from yesterday.
But before we leave, we've got to say the pledge of Blam Allegiance.
Everybody, put your head over your heart and repeat after us. I pledge allegiance to KABLAM
and the excited snakes of America. And to the cartoonists who make us stand, one comic book irreplaceable. Liver free with jetpacks for all.
Okay, and that totally concludes the show KABLAM. Was this show awesome? Abso-fucking-fruitly. This show was amazing. If for whatever reason it's not talked about as much as maybe some of the more classic shows you might know about, like Stan and Rimpy and Courage the Cowardly Dog, but it's still a classic, it's still a great show, and I have a lot of fond memories. And that concludes my review of KABLAM. If you like this video, guys, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. The best way to support my channel, as I said before, is go down in the link below and go to my merch shop, where my brother and I have designed some really cool items for you guys to take a look at and possibly purchase. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.